Muslim women. Reason number 22 of 30 for men to get the hell out of the USA. One of the greatest joys I get in traveling is realizing that my assumptions are completely wrong. They don't work and they just don't apply to reality. And it's in those moments that everything feels fresh and new, and I'm filled with curiosity. Well, if this isn't the way it is, then how is it? And growing up extremely religious with all these black and white ideas about the world out there, and then having so many different ways of waking up to a whole new world that really I was completely wrong about. That process of waking up has given me so much life and joy throughout my life. And I remember my only time in Kuwait, my first time in the Middle East, my second time in the Middle East. I was coming into Kuwait, into the airport, and walking up to a booth where they check your visa and everything. And there was a Muslim woman in each booth, and wearing the hijab, but the eyes were so elaborately painted, and she was flirting with me with her eyes, way heavier than is appropriate in polite American culture. Way more than would be allowable in most cultures around the world, I think. And I was like, whoa, wait a second, because where I come from, that means something in particular. So then it was the next morning. I went with a friend, and a Kuwaiti Muslim female friend of hers picked us up, and she's wearing the hijab headdress and the long sleeves and everything, but she's got a lot of bling. She's wearing jewelry, tons of bracelets and necklaces, and really painted up. We get in the car, and we start to take off. We're going to breakfast, and she, the music comes on loud, and it's gangsta rap, and she's rapping on the way to breakfast like bitches and hoes and all this stuff. Again, that was my second experience. Okay, I'm in a new world. Things, my assumptions about this world don't exactly fit. And then maybe a couple days later, I was going out to explore this world. I was crossing the street, and there were 4 women in burqas in a car. And I'm crossing the street, and they're staring me down like construction workers in New York City might be staring down a hot blonde walking down the street, giving me the eye. And it's like, so that was the beginning of realizing that, my assumptions in that context were completely wrong. There's so many stories I could tell. There was, in Laos, I was going down the Mekong River on a boat full of travelers, and the boat started sinking. And there was a Muslim woman from Uzbekistan who'd kind of been, giving me the eye, checking me out as we'd been going down the river. Boat started sinking, and long story short, she asked we survived the sinking of the boat, and it was a madhouse. Everyone needed a place to stay, and she wanted to share a room with me. Again, a much more interesting story than that, but and in my world, that's not something that a Muslim woman does. But of course, the Muslim world is far bigger, and than all of my previous stereotypes and ideas, and about how, So, reason number 22, the world that you think is out here is far more interesting, fascinating, and incredible to explore than you may have ever imagined before. So if you have the desire, I invite you to honor it and come and explore.